Have you ever wondered how often you should refresh the soil in your GreenStalk or your container garden? And if that is you, this video is the one you want to watch. Hey, welcome to Garden Grace. I'm Rebecca, and today I want to share with you that it's been a month since I refreshed the 3 tiers of my flower tower, and I want to show you what it looks like today. First, you're going to see what it looked like then, just a couple of screenshots from my other video, and I'll be sure and share that down below too if you want to see the entire version of the 3 tiers getting refreshed. And I want you to see how well it's doing right now, what I have learned about this soil refresh, and how I know when I need to refresh again. This is the day I refreshed the flower tower. I removed the top 4 to 5 inches of soil, added in Happy Frog potting mix, worm castings, perlite, and plant tone, then replanted herbs, Swiss chard, and lettuce seedlings. It looked great then, but what's more important is how it's done since. Let's look at that now. So this is my 3-tier flower tower is what I call it. I name each of my towers, and even with the bright sunshine, it's not too hot out today, and you can see just how well the basil, the parsley, the curled parsley, my chives, and then I've got some Swiss chard, some butter crunch lettuce, and just how well it's all doing. This one it's got a little bit too much sun on it, so I need to get out. I need to open up my big umbrella, and that's what I end up doing right now, because again, we'll have cool overnight temps and the mornings feel just amazing, but then it gets a little warm in the afternoon, a little too warm for my tender greens. And so that's how I take care of that, is by adding in that umbrella. Container gardening, and this is something for you to know moving forward. If you are doing it, or if you are thinking about doing container gardening, the nutrients in the soil, they don't stay like they do in ground soil. Like if you had just a raised bed in the ground, or just plowed up some ground, due to watering, the roots, the fertilizer, it all is going to change, like the pH, and the nutrients are going to get depleted over time. And so there's a couple of things that I look for so that I will know when it is time to refresh. And that is just as important as just paying attention to your plants to see, how are you growing? Do you have any bugs on you? Is anything eating on you? Do you need watering? Just, it's like one of those extra steps that is important for you to do on a daily basis. And that's why it's so good. Walk out in your garden and just look at your plants, look at them and say, how are you doing today? What do you need today? It's just, I don't know. I know you probably think that's kind of silly, but it's kind of fun to do it at the same time. Again, y'all, you can just see how lush and beautiful everything is, just because there's been that additional nutrient, that refreshing of the soil, giving them the chance to really thrive in their environment, in the GreenStalk, and then to give you exactly what it is that you're wanting. I do want to share this with you, y'all. So the majority of these are all bedding plants that I put in here. Now the curled parsley, I started these from seeds, and for almost the entire season until I got them replanted in here, they stayed about this tall. And I think part of the problem was because of the lack of the nutrients they needed better soil, and that now they are flourishing. So, if you're saying, well, now how do you know that's really what you need to do? It's by my own experience right now. Again, I'm back into gardening after years, and some of this gardening I never did before. So I'm relearning and learning with you as we go along. However, there is no denying that this soil refresh has just brought additional life to each one of these plants, and that's what you're looking for in your garden. So you may be asking, well, how often do you need to do a refresh? Now, what I do, okay, so a total refresh, what I'm calling total, is where I've taken the tiers apart, I've pulled off 4 to 5 inches of the topsoil, and then I have added my amendments to it to make it into that more vibrant, rich soil for my plants. And I did that. It'll be 12 months for that, for 2 towers, and then really for this 3-tier tower, my flower tower, it was more like 8 months that I did a total refresh, and that was because it just didn't do well at all. And I'm thinking, okay, so there was either something when I first started that tower, because again, I'm learning smarter practices with refreshing my towers. And so I just took off the 4 to 5 inches off of each of the towers. I refreshed it. And again, I'll give you the link to that video below. And then I added in these bedding plants. And and I moved a couple of my Swiss chard that were over there in my strawberry tower, because I wanted, that's just being designated just for strawberries. And so I moved them over here, and they started thriving as well. It's just amazing when you get the right environment for your plants, how happy they are, and then how happy you're going to be when you watch them flourish and give you the produce that you're looking for. There is a schedule that I have for the fertilizing, and depending on what type of fertilizer I'm going to be putting on there, whether it's my yeast fertilizer for the lush green growth in the roots, or the banana fertilizer for the fruiting and blooming and the strawberries making runners, or it's the plant tone organic granular all-purpose fertilizer, or the berry tone granular fertilizer that's specifically for my strawberries. Again, I have a list that I keep up with on when I do things and when the next time is that I need to do it again, because y'all, I want my plants to thrive, and I know you do too. And so that's like a monthly schedule. And then what's important, and this is one thing that I did, is refreshing the dirt like around my strawberry plants, because it'll get washed away. You have to be careful that it's not on the crown though. And so that is something that you might need to do as well, is to top off each of the pockets with that healthier soil, and it just makes such a huge difference. So I just want to show you this one tower. I've not done anything to, I did move my Malabar spinach over here and refresh those pockets, and of course they're doing beautifully. I mean, they're just so gorgeous right now. But everything else that's on here, I've not done anything. So look at this pocket right here. This has my marigolds in it. I've not added anything else. See, the roots are right up here. It's all dry and compacted. That's what you do not want to have. You do not want that soil to, the roots to get exposed, the soil to get so compacted that you can water it, but the water just, it doesn't sink in. It just runs off. And so by adding in extra, like topping off, and I was going to show you something that works so well, is I found these on Amazon. Now, if you don't have GreenStalks, you may not need to even worry about this. But look at, first off, they come in different colors, and I think it's a set of 4. No, 6. Maybe it's 6. And I can scoop up that refreshed soil, and then look, see how beautifully, see, it just fits perfectly for the pockets. And again, if I can find a way to do something easier, I'm going to share that with you, because that's what I'm always looking for. If I'm doing something, I don't want it to be hard and difficult and tedious. I want it to be fun and enjoyable. And when you can add in little pops of color around, that makes it even more fun. So my flower tower with my herbs and lettuce and chard, however, when I carry it forward through the fall and winter and into spring, some of these things will die back and others will stay and keep producing. And so I really won't have to worry about doing another refresh for them for another, I will say, another 8 months at least. And yet the pockets that had the peppers, like I have my Gosha de Oro pepper. This one's ripe and ready to go. Even in their green stage, you can still harvest it and eat it, because I have actually done all 3 stages: green, yellow, and then the red. However, those pockets, they will have to have a full refresh sooner than later, especially if I'm going to want to put more peppers or tomatoes back in them. So those kind of refresh would be like for sure twice a year. So it's knowing that your heavier feeders like tomatoes and peppers need to be refreshed more, as opposed to your leafy greens, the lettuces, the herbs, the basil, chard. They don't need it as often. Be proactive and pay attention to the soil of your plants. Look at the soil. Is it compacted? Do you see the roots? Look at your plants. Do they feel like you think that they're looking a little weaker and might need some more nutrients? That's when you know that it's time to either do a full refresh, a partial refresh, topping it off refresh, specific fertilizers. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you have learned something for your own garden, for refreshing your soil, so that you know what it is that you might need to do. I've done the flower tower, I've done the lightning bug tower, I've done my ladybug tower, and then I do have a new tower that I got with the blueberries that has the pansies on it, and then of course my grow bag. So I've been doing a lot of refreshing, and I just really wanted you to know that through my own experience, it's well worth the time and energy and effort to stay on top of things like this, and it is all doable in your own garden. So if you have listened to something that you think has been helpful, I hope you like this video, and please just comment, share, subscribe so that you can be part of the Garden Grace family, and remember to always grow with grace, and I'll see you right back here in Garden Grace. Okay, y'all, bye.